Title: The Billionaire's Regret. Once upon a time in America, there lived a billionaire named Alexander Reed. He was a self-made man, having built his empire from the ground up through hard work and sheer determination. His life revolved around his business, and he often neglected his family, especially his daughter, Emily, who was the apple of his eye. Emily was a bright and cheerful child, filled with dreams of becoming a doctor. However, her father was so engrossed in his work that he rarely spent time with her. Days turned into months, and months into years, with Alexander's focus solely on his empire. He believed that providing for his family meant sacrificing personal moments, thinking that money could fill the void of absence. One fateful day, tragedy struck. Emily was diagnosed with a rare illness. Despite all his wealth, Alexander felt powerless. He hired the best doctors, flew her across the country for treatments, and spared no expense, but nothing seemed to work. Emily fought bravely, always smiling, trying to assure her father that everything would be okay. As the days passed, her condition worsened. During those challenging times, Alexander finally realized the importance of being present, yet the guilt lingered. He spent every moment by her side, holding her hand and whispering words of encouragement. Unfortunately, she succumbed to her illness, leaving Alexander shattered and alone. At Emily's funeral, the weight of regret consumed him. Surrounded by luxury and wealth, he felt emptier than ever. The graveyard was a peaceful place where he often visited, bringing flowers and reminiscing about the laughter they shared. He couldn't shake the memories of missed birthdays and school recitals. He longed for one more moment with her. One sunny afternoon, as he stood at her grave, a young girl approached him, holding a bouquet of wildflowers. She looked just like Emily. Confused and overwhelmed, he knelt down to speak to her. "You remind me so much of someone I lost." The little girl smiled gently. "I know. She was kind and always made me laugh. I've seen her in my dreams." This moment became a turning point for Alexander. He realized that the essence of Emily lived on not just in memories but also in the lives she touched. From that day forward, he decided to honor her by creating a foundation in her name, dedicated to helping children with illnesses. He poured not only his resources but also his heart into this foundation, making it his life's mission. He organized events, raised awareness, and shared Emily's story, ensuring that her spirit would inspire others. In this journey of healing, Alexander rediscovered himself. He learned to balance work with family, realizing that love and connection were the true treasures of life. Through his foundation, he found purpose and joy, transforming his guilt into action and finding solace amidst grief. Years later, standing at Emily's grave, he felt a sense of peace. "I hope you're proud of what we've built together," he whispered, placing the bouquet of wildflowers by her headstone, knowing that his daughter's legacy would live on. Once upon a time in America, there lived a billionaire named Alexander Reed, a man who built his empire from nothing but sheer determination and hard work. He had grown up in a modest household, where opportunities were few. From a young age, he vowed to create a better life for himself. Through years of late nights and relentless ambition, Alexander eventually became one of the wealthiest men in the country, with skyscrapers and luxury cars to his name. However, as Alexander reached the pinnacle of success, he found himself consumed by his work. His office was his second home, and meetings often stretched late into the night. The love of his life, his wife Clara, understood his drive but often lamented that he was rarely present for their daughter, Emily. Time ticked away, and as days turned into weeks, weeks into years, Alexander became a stranger to his own family. Emily was a bright, vivacious girl, filled with dreams of becoming a doctor. She would often come to her father's office, her face lighting up the room. But more often than not, Alexander was too preoccupied to notice. He missed school recitals, soccer games, and even birthdays, all while convincing himself that he was doing it for them. Clara tried her best to bridge the gap, always telling Emily, "Your dad loves you, sweetie. He just has a lot to handle." Yet, Emily yearned for her father's presence and often expressed her feelings through letters that she never sent. "Dear Dad, I wish you would come to see me. I miss you. One fateful day, Emily began to fall ill. Initially, it seemed like a simple infection, but as weeks passed, her condition deteriorated. The diagnosis was heartbreaking, a rare illness that required immediate and extensive treatment. The news shook Alexander to his core. Here was the one person who mattered most to him, and he felt utterly powerless. In a desperate attempt to save his daughter, he spared no expense. He hired the best doctors, flew her across the country for treatments, and consulted specialists from all over the world. However, despite the wealth and resources at his disposal, nothing seemed to work. As the situation worsened, Alexander finally realized the importance of being present. He sat by Emily's bedside, holding her frail hand, whispering words of encouragement. "You're the strongest person I know," he would say, his heart breaking at how quickly she was fading away. Emily, ever the optimist, smiled weakly. "Dad, it's okay. I'm not afraid." But within him, a storm brewed, regret for all those precious moments he had traded away for success. On a rainy afternoon, Emily succumbed to her illness, leaving Alexander utterly shattered. The funeral was a somber affair, a gathering filled with grief and regret. Surrounded by luxury in his mansion, expensive cars, and the accolades of a successful businessman, he felt emptier than he had ever been. In the months that followed, Alexander found solace in solitude. He often visited Emily's grave, standing under a quiet oak tree, bringing flowers and lost in memories of her laughter. Some days, he would sit in silence, absorbed in guilt. "I'm sorry, my sweet girl. I thought money could fill the void," he would murmur, tears streaming down his face. One afternoon, he was at the grave, lost in thought, when a little girl approached him. She was holding a bouquet of wildflowers, looking timid yet brave. "Excuse me, sir," she said, her voice soft. "You look sad. Are you okay?" He knelt down to her level, perplexed. "I'm okay. I just miss my daughter." "Your daughter?" "She's in heaven, isn't she?" "She was really kind. I've seen her in my dreams," the girl replied, her eyes sparkling with innocence. The little girl's words pierced through Alexander's heart. He felt an unexpected connection, a spark of hope rekindled within him. This child reminded him so much of Emily. It was a bittersweet moment. "What's your name?" he asked, wiping his tears. "Lily," she replied. "I love flowers just like her. She told me to keep smiling and helping others." That moment became a turning point for Alexander. He realized that the essence of Emily lived on, not just in his memories, but in the lives she had touched, even in the dreams of a little girl. It ignited a flame in him to honor her legacy, to do something meaningful in her name. Determined to transform his grief into action, Alexander founded the Emily Reed Foundation, dedicated to helping children with serious illnesses. He poured his resources, time, and heart into this enterprise, ensuring that other children had access to the best medical care. He organized events, raised awareness, and shared Emily's story widely, inspiring countless others. As he traveled across the country to promote the foundation, he spoke at hospitals, schools, and community centers, sharing not just his success but also the painful lessons learned from loss. His mission resonated with many, and soon the foundation blossomed, becoming a beacon of hope for families in need. In this journey of pain and healing, Alexander rediscovered himself. He learned to balance work and family, finally understanding that love and connection were the true treasures of life. He often visited hospitals, sitting with sick children, offering help and hope, just as Emily would have wanted. Years later, standing at Emily's grave, Alexander felt a profound sense of peace. "I hope you're proud of what we've built together," he whispered, placing a bouquet of wildflowers by her headstone. He could almost hear her laughter in the rustling leaves, a sweet reminder of their bond. As the foundation grew, so did Alexander's relationship with Clara. They began to heal together, sharing their grief and memories of Emily, and finding comfort in each other. Clara admired Alexander's transformation from a workaholic to a compassionate philanthropist who valued family and connection. Their renewed bond led to a series of family retreats, where they invited children from the foundation and their families. Every summer, they set up camp in the countryside, enjoying nature, storytelling evenings, and creating memories that would last a lifetime. Through these experiences, Alexander felt as though Emily was still with them, inspiring joy and laughter in ways he had never imagined. The Emily Reed Foundation saw unprecedented success, funding research for rare illnesses and supporting families through their toughest times. Each success story reaffirmed Alexander's purpose, reminding him of the strength Emily had shown during her battle. One day, while attending an event for a sick child who had received a life-saving treatment through the foundation, Alexander met a mother named Sarah. Her eyes brimmed with tears of gratitude as she shared her son's miraculous recovery, attributing it to the foundation's efforts. At that moment, Alexander felt his heart's well was not just honoring Emily's memory, he was making a tangible difference in the world. As the years continued to roll by, Alexander found fulfillment in the little things: a child's laughter at the camps, the heartfelt hugs from families he had helped, and the endless gratitude from those who had benefited from the foundation. He realized that each act of love and kindness was a ripple in the fabric of life, echoing Emily's spirit. One evening, during a gathering at the foundation, he addressed a crowd of supporters and families, his voice steady and filled with emotion. "Emily taught me that life is fleeting, but the love we give flows endlessly. She inspired me to transform my regrets into a legacy. Together, let's make a better world for our children." At the anniversary of Emily's passing, Alexander and Clara organized a special event. They invited everyone who had been touched by the foundation. It was a day of celebration filled with stories, laughter, and hope, an event that reminded everyone of the beauty of community and love. Standing in front of the crowd, Alexander felt a wave of peace wash over him. He understood that while life had taken Emily away, it had also gifted him a deeper appreciation for connections, resilience, and the importance of cherishing every moment. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the gathering, Alexander looked around at the smiling faces, the lively conversations, and the children playing. He knew that in honoring Emily's memory, he had not only transformed his life but had also touched the lives of many. The end.